Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube. Season 21 has begun. Hard to believe, 21 seasons. We're starting with something a little different this year. We're not having our normal season opening major at Dutch. That will be coming next week. They're under renovations. I believe they're just about done. I heard the place is looking really nice. So today we started with a doubles event here at Colony Park North in York, Pennsylvania. We are down to our final 5 in each division, both scratch and handicap. Tournament director Matt and Travis Boom Boom is giving final instructions. So we'll be ready to begin momentarily. Hope everybody had a nice summer. I know you kiddies are getting ready to go back to school. And the parents listening, give a round of applause right about now. So as always, our message board is alive and operational. So you wish to chime in, let me know how your summer went. How much practicing you did, how much your average has gone up. Hopefully we'll get to see several of you guys come out for most of our tournaments this season. We got a lot of new exciting features coming up. I will get to them a little bit later when I go over the schedule. Hopefully everybody here has gotten their packet in the mail. If you haven't gotten your packet, if you are not on our mailing list, go to our Facebook page at PJBT Bowling Youth Series or PJBT Youth Information page, and there'll be a note there, post there that you could hit the reply button, and you will get a packet mailed out to you. Are you ready? Yes. On to Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to introduce our finalists for the first event of the 21st season of the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tournament. We are here today at the beautiful Colony Park Lanes Court here in York for our first event. It is a 21 and under doubles event. We are about to begin our finals, which is a step ladder major format final. Okay, we're going to begin by introducing our top 5 teams in each division. Starting with the scratch division, our number 5 seed team from Lancaster, PA, Jordan and Kyle Shell.
Jordan and Kyle Shell, your number 5 seeds in the scratch division. They shot 5-10 their last game to make it.
Our number 4 seeds from Reading and Harrisburg, PA, Charlize Warner and Dylan Zimmerman.
Your number 4 seeds, Charlize Warner and Dylan Zimmerman.
Winner of that match will advance to game number 2 to take on our number 3 seeds from Drums and Berwick, PA, Brandon Updike and Anthony Remley.
Anthony Remley and Brandon Updike, your number 3 seeds.
Winner of that second match will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seeds from Waldorf and Pasadena, Maryland, Gene Blair and TJ Owens.
Gene Blair and TJ Owens, your number 2 seeds.
And the winner of that semifinal match will take on our tournament leaders at plus 304 for 8 games from Du Bois, PA, Antonio Willer and Ryan Miscavige.
Ryan Miscavige and Antonio Willer, your number 1 seeds. I believe I heard plus 304. All right, so there are our finalists for the scratch. They'll be bowling on 5 and 6 today.
Now it is time to introduce our 5 handicap finalist teams. Starting with our number 5 seed from Lebanon, PA, Connor Firestone and Darren Zombro III.
Firestone and Darren Zombro III, your number 5 seed. I'm sorry I didn't catch Mr. Firestone's first name.
Then in the first match, our number 4 seeds from Elizabethtown, PA, Mason Moore and Daniel Eberle.
Mason Moore and Daniel Eberle, your number 4 seeds.
The winner of match number 1 will advance to game number 2 to take on our number 3 seed from Blackwood, New Jersey, Stephen Schaff and Alfonso Pena.
Stephen Schaft and Alfonso. Missed that last name. I thought I heard Pena.
Match number 2 will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seed from Warwicksburg and Schuylhaven, PA, Carter Strauss and Jacob Gilbert.
Carter Spouse and Jacob Gilbert, your number 2 seeds.
And the winner of that semifinal match will advance to take on our tournament leader at plus 301 for 8 games from Lebanon, PA, Barry Bridingham Jr. and Rebecca Bridingham.
And your number 1 seeds are Rebecca Bridingham and Barry Bridingham Jr.
Have a nice hand for our 10 bowlers finalists in the handicap division.
All right, so there are our finalists for both scratch and handicap. We'll give the number 4 and 5 seeds some time to warm up. The handicap matches will be on lanes 7 and 8. So while we're waiting for them to warm up, some of the new features this year for season 21, we have our first ever super adult junior event. Basically, that is going to be teams of 4, 2 adults and 2 juniors, make up a team. We have our first annual Steve Brown Memorial Tournament. We have expanded ladies only tournaments this year. We'll go over some of them. And we have 2 team tournaments this year. And don't forget, as always, we have the Parker Bone Tournament coming up in Howell, New Jersey. Sweeper tournaments on Friday night, August the 30th, and the main event starts Saturday, August the 31st. The finals on September the 1st. I will find a flyer for that and get some information. We have the Danny Wiseman tournament coming up in October down in Maryland. That is Friday, October the 12th with sweeper tournaments. And the main event, Saturday and Sunday, October 12th and 13th. Joining me in the booth right now, the man, the myth, the legend. He needs no introductions.
Okay, I guess not. Hello, sir.
Travis Boom Boom Sparks. I'm pretty good, sir. How are you?
Good, good. As long as you can hear me, we're fine.
I could hear you.
All right, good. All right, I see levels. We're all right.
Yes.
So let's tell everybody why we're here and not at Dutch for our regular opener. It's because right after 222 Dutch got done hosting the PA State Mixed Tournament, the remodeling started. They took out all the old-fashioned AMF seating. They put new seating in, new flooring, new carpeting, almost new everything. So when we're there next week, you'll see all the improvements. And based on the pictures that we've seen on Facebook, it looks pretty nice.
Yes, it does.
So we are there next week, and because Colony Park and Suburban are co-hosting the 2020 PSBA State Tournament, Jen kindly asked if North can have the two tournaments that they usually get scheduled in calendar year 2019, and Matt was nice enough to oblige, so that's why we are here. And we ended up with 17 teams in scratch and 19 teams in handicap. And a pretty darn good field today.
I believe you have a tournament that you're a part of coming up too in a few weeks.
The weekend that Josh and Stacy are getting married, the PJBT is totally off. And last year we ran it. I ran it with Suburban Bolorama for the first time. And this year it's going to be JuniorBowling.com, Suburban, and Bill Gasson's tour. Mid-Atlantic Youth Tour. We're all getting together on Sunday, September 8th for the Bowler Max Youth Scholarship Tournament. Nice enough from one of the local clubs, the Victory Social Club, to donate $2,500 to the scholarship. So we'll be paying out over $3,000 in scholarship prizes. Entry is due for the discount. Entry is due next Sunday, September 1st, or 2 Sundays from now, September 1st to Suburban or to me. I will be at Parker's tournament Saturday the 31st. I will take entries there. And afterwards, it's $50. Walk-in rate's $50. Now, it's limited to 105 entries. There'll be 5 games qualifying. Top 12 advance to a bracket. There will be junior gold qualifying as well. And that'll be Sunday, September 8th with a 10 a.m. start at Suburban Bolorama here in York. And then later on in the calendar year, I'll have more details on the event I will be running in Pittsburgh on the Sunday between Christmas and New Year, plus I've got the girls' tournaments that I'm going to be running, plus I am now manager here in the York Adams Association, so I've got all that to take care of, and
You're a busy man.
I'll have time to breathe eventually. So, and plus with the 2020 state tournament coming here next year, you're not going to see me between Super Bowl Sunday and Father's Day, because I'll either be at work or in the bowling alley the whole time.
Well, then I won't ask you to help in my tournament.
Okay.
We're finalizing the date. I think it might be the day before you have the girls' tournament at East Lincoln. We're looking at that date. And if I do have it that date, we're going to offer some of the girls that show up a chance to win some free entries to your event.
Okay. All right, first matchup here is going to be Charlize Warner and Dylan Zimmerman. They'll be taking on the brothers Shell, Jordan and Kyle, who made a huge run in the final game, as Jordan Shell strung 8 in a row mid-game to shoot 267, and his brother Kyle shot 244 with front 7 to shoot 511 to get in by 8. And then on the handicap side here, it'll be Mason Moore and Daniel Eberly versus Connor Firestone and DJ Zombro.
The team of Moore and Eberly will be getting 32 pins.
Now, because this is a Baker-style match, the handicap that they qualified with was each individual bowler, so now the difference in each team will then be divided by 2, since it's only 1 game instead of 2 games, and that's how we come up with the handicap. It was 90% of 400 during qualifying. Went based on team handicap and not individuals. And waiting in the wings will be Brandon Updike and Anthony Remley on scratch, and handicap Stephen Schaff and Alfonso Pena.
Okay, bowling fans, it is about time to begin game number 1 of our stepladder maker finals.
No, it is time.
Scratch side. We have number 4 seed Charlize Warner and Dylan Zimmerman taking on Jordan and Kyle Shell. Charlize and Dylan have elected to have the Shell start the match on lane 5. Charlize will be going first and Dylan second for their team. Jordan will go first for the Shell team and Kyle second. Okay? On the handicap side, we have number 4 seed Mason Moore and Daniel Eberly taking on number 5 seed Connor Firestone and Darren Zombro III. Mason and Daniel have elected to have Connor and Darren start the match on lane 7. They'll go in the order of Mason and then Daniel, and the other team will go Connor and then Darren. Okay? The difference in handicap is in the computer divided by 2, which is with 32 pins to Moore Eberly. I'll switch that. Okay? All right. Rolling. Oh, yeah, because it's reversed. That's right. I do have it.
How long you been doing this?
Maybe. All right, bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our game 1 finalist.
All right, and away we go.
It just confused me because I was looking at the reverse arrow. Yeah, right.
It's preseason for him, Travis.
Oh, jeez. Does the season ever end?
Doesn't seem that way.
No, not anymore. I mean, I had a couple tournament directors tell me there is no off season anymore. It's year round. And quite honestly, they're right, because you look at if there is such a thing as a summer break, you've got all the tournaments in June now getting ready for Junior Gold. You actually have Junior Gold plus Turbo plus DVH Shootout. And really, there's maybe a 1 to 2 week rest period. Then you got trade shows, which a lot more juniors are getting involved with at pro shops that they serve. A lot more pro shops have junior staffs now. When the Bowler Supply Pro Shop was up here a couple weeks ago, we had enough juniors to run a side tournament. And I ended up getting 10 bowlers to bowl it, and TJ Owens won the scratch side, and young Donovan Klein won the handicap side. Mason Moore with a Swisher 10-pin. Nice shot by Jordan Shell in the first frame to take the 7-10 out. Here's Charlize Warner. Gets the 10-pin. A number of improvements were made here at Colony North over the summer. A lot of the pin decks were swapped out. They put flat gutters in, so the carry was a lot more noticeable today. As the spare is missed, so lead is 31 for Moore and Eberly. Now Dylan Zimmerman back from McKendree. Be heading back out there soon.
Friday, he told me.
Looked like he got that one a little left right off his hand. Leaves the 3-6-10. Zimmerman's games of qualifying: 232, 185, 218, 237, 226. Then went 278, 265, and 201 to average 230 on the day. Charlize, his partner, 208, 192, 164, 189, 192, and then in match play, second round, went 212, 211, 189. Conversion is good, so 17 and a spare for Warner and Zimmerman. Here comes Kyle Shell. Kyle Shell's games: 177, thank you, 165, 183, 256, 158, and then went 139, 204, 243 in the second round. And that 243 was with front 7. And gets them all to go. So they start with a double. Jordan Shell started 245, 246, 242, 211, 214. Then went 199, 224, 267. It was a game where he went strike, gutter, spare, the next 8, and then 7 spare for 267 to get in by just 8 pins. Finishing 6th in scratch today, Parker Laubach and Aaron Heckman. You needed minus 23 to make it in handicap today, and scratch was minus 30. 7th today was in scratch Caden Mutchler and Alan Lynn at 33.11. David Swavely and Anthony Mastriani at 32.86. So chocolate chip and meatball finished 8th today, and I highly expect by the time we get to Las Vegas, somebody's going to be making chocolate chip meatballs out there at one of the restaurants. 9th went to Max Minnick and Logan Choppel at 31.97, and Josh Christ and John Fillmore 31.95. They finished 10th. Spare for Shell and Shell. They're at 27 now, 47 and a spare after 3. Over on the handicap side, handicap edge still to Moore and Eberly. It's Daniel Eberly up now in the 4th frame for Moore and Eberly. Eberly, 164 average, shot 164, 172, 190, 136, 175. And then in the second round, 238, 213, 153. His partner Mason Moore, 178, 151, 145, 180, 176. And then 161, 184, 151. Total score 33.75 for fourth. Spare is good. So they have, with handicap, 69 and a spare. Now Zombro steps up fourth frame, 17 and a strike. Zombro today, 190, 219, 267, 248, 203. And then 236, 248, 256. As the 5 was late and doesn't take out the 7. His partner Connor Firestone coming in with a 175 average, 159, 189, 147, 199, 166, 190, 165, and 194 for 33.72, and they made the cut by 52 as the spare is good, and scratch-wise we're tied, but the handicap is the difference now at 32. Baby split here on lane 5 for Zimmerman. Looks like both Firestone and Zombro throwing orange vibes right now as they've got 3 marks in a row. $65 after 4 for Warner and Zimmerman. As Shell and Shell using max score have a lead at 32 at this point. So the lead stays at 32 for Shell and Shell after Kyle strikes. And the lead is 7 for Moore and Eberly. Three, 6, 10. Two, 8. Double wood for Jordan Shell. And 1 out of 3 for Eberly. So 101 with handicap after 6. And now Zombro up 57 and a strike. Their max is 237. And they have a lead of about 20. And 1 out of 2 for Warner. You're always in the way. Bad question to ask. Dueling 2, 4, 5s now. Zombro makes his 77 and a spare. And Warner makes her spare to get 65 and a spare. So Warner and Zimmerman trail by 10. Here's Firestone. 3, 6. Spare converted, 95 and a spare for Firestone and Zombro. Going by max score, it's 205 for them now. As they trail by 24. Strike for Zimmerman. 85 and a strike. They are still down 10. Kyle Shell getting some work done on his thumb before he steps up in the sixth. Meanwhile, Mason Moore can't get the 10 pin, so 78 scratch. Add in the handicap there at 110. And seesaw back and forth lead as the Moore Eberly team trails by 5. Never got out clean and got a little too far outside, leaving a washout. Eberly with the strike. Now Zombro has a chance to go up and keep the lead. Meanwhile, the lead has crisscrossed again, but for the first time on the strike side, Warner and Zimmerman have taken the lead on the bench, and they are up 12. 103 for the Shells after 6. It's 85 and a strike after 6 for Warner and Zimmerman. On lane 8, Zombro 10 pin. As that match has gone back and forth with every throw. Missed 10 pin on the right and a stuffed 9 pin on the left. So Firestone needs to strike here in order to keep his team in good shape. That looks good. So max of 183 for Zombro and Firestone. We're at 100 and a strike, so they can max for 200. So a couple marks, a double would help. As Warner gets the 7 pin to fall, and they have taken a stronger lead. Doan gets, or Moore rather, gets the strike. So they've doubled up. So Eberly, 9 on this ball, still puts them in good shape, forcing Zombro to strike. And a split. So doing the math, yeah, they've got.
If he gets 2 here, he'll force him to strike.
So 2 makes it 133 plus 165. That needs to hurry. That score needs changing, so 122, 129, 161.
That is a big miss.
18 pins by Zombro, and we have a tie. So we need a mark and 9 to win. And Kyle Shell, looks like he's got the issues with his thumb figured out as he is struck. So the Shells have a max of 213. Zimmerman and Warner at 235, so they can afford so Warner and Zimmerman can go 9 spare, strike, strike, strike to shut out, depending on what Jordan Shell does here in his 9th frame. Meanwhile, Zombro must make this. All right, first part of the job's done. Now 8 to tie, 9 to win. Meanwhile, Warner, 9 on this ball, she's all right. Strike on this ball, she's really all right.
Oh.
9's a winner by 1. 162, 161.
And that is why you get count.
Firestone and Zombro are winners. They will advance. Meanwhile, we have a chance of a tie over here on the strike side as well, on the scratch side, excuse me. If Zimmerman goes 9 spare 9 or 8 spare strike and Kyle Shell strikes out, that would be 213 aside. A strike here and it'll shut out. Just do that and take care of it. Kyle, go ahead and bowl. They bowled on Stone Street today.
Look at those.
I present checks to my partner in mixed states, Andy Carson. He and his wife Julie bowled with me and my wife. We got second place scratch team and made a couple other bucks otherwise as well. As Dylan Zimmerman strikes, Kyle Shell strikes, Warner and Zimmerman will advance to the next game.
Okay, so with the back 7, the team of Warner and Zimmerman will defeat the Shells 235 to 201. Waiting in the wings in the scratch division is Updike and Remley. The handicap division is Schaff and Penna. Down to Matt.
Okay, bonus fans, that concludes game number 1 of our Anchor Format Step Ladder Finals. Finishing in 5th in the scratch division, each bowler getting a $30 scholarship, certificate, and medal goes to the team of Jordan and Kyle Shell.
Jordan and Kyle Shell, 5th place finishers today. Mason Moore and Daniel Eberly were 5th place finishers in handicap. All right, upcoming events on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. Next week, major number 1, 222 Dutch. Sunday, August the 25th with a 10:30 start time. The pattern is Kegel PJBT patterns. Each year, Kegel comes up with some new patterns for the PJBT that we use in our majors. The week after the PJBT, there is no events because the PJBT will be helping out in the Parker Bone Tournament. Let's see here. For the Parker Bone Tournament, the qualifying is Saturday, August the 31st. If you sign up, well, let's see here. The pre-entry discount has already passed, so it's now $70 to sign up per squad. Squad times on Saturday are 8:30, 12:30, and 4:30. There's 4 divisions, U12, U15, U17, and U20. First place is $1,000 in each division based upon 40 entries. Girls that bowl in this tournament get 7 pins per game. If you bowl the 8:30 squad, you could re-enter 1 additional squad for just $45. So, if you think you might want to bowl more than 1 squad, you definitely want to sign up for that 8:30 squad. Tournament, just like every year, is at Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. You can register online at parkerbohn.com, PARKERBOHN.com. This is a 2020 Junior Gold qualifying event. If you need to stay at a hotel, right now they are offering rates at the Hampton Inn in East Windsor under the group name Parker Bone Third Bowling. Reservation deadline, actually that reservation deadline has also passed. But I'm sure if they still have space, they will gladly take you. All right, the week after, there is no PJBT events for Skip Moyer, and Peaches will be tying the knot. So the week after, we come back Sunday, September the 15th at Leisure Lanes for major number 2. So back-to-back majors. That's Sunday, September the 15th, 10:30 start time. The following actually, then the week after, we're off again. The 21st and 22nd, there is no bowling. The following Saturday, September the 28th, is the first of our girls-only tournaments. That's at ABC West Lanes. That's Saturday, September 28th with a 2:30 start time. Then our regular PJBT event is Sunday, September 29th. That is an adult junior at Chaco's in Wilkes-Barre. So adult junior number 1 is at Chaco's in Wilkes-Barre on Sunday, September the 29th. Now, as I had stated earlier in the opening, we have an expanded list of girls-only tournaments this year, so let's see what's on the schedule. So, as previously mentioned, we got Saturday, September the 28th at ABC West. We have Saturday, October 19th at J Lanes. We have Saturday, November 2nd at Canes Lanes. That's in Mannheim. We have on Friday, November the 29th, we have a girls-only adult junior event up at Chaco's in Wilkes-Barre. Now, what I mean by that, for girls only, that just has to be the youth bowler has to be a girl. The adult could be either a male or a female. On Sunday, December 22nd, is girls-only tournament at East Lincoln, my favorite little bowling center. On Monday, December 30th, girls only tournament at Leisure. Sunday, January 19th, girls only tournament number 7 at Town and Country in Bethlehem. And this year's invitational is Saturday, February the 1st. Don't know quite where that's going to be yet, so stay tuned for that. For the invitational, we usually guarantee $500 first place for both scratch and handicap. And it is an invitational. To get invited, the more events you enter, the better chance that you are going to get invited. You can find out information on this tournament and all of our tournaments by checking out our website at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. Also, once again, I am finalizing my tournament, the rescheduled Fatstacular. I should have a definite date for you by next week. There will be a scratch tournament once again with a $1,500 guaranteed first place prize. It will be at East Lincoln Lanes, and it will be limited to only 64 entries, and it will be after the college kids have returned for their winter break. So that's going to do that. At our next break between matches, we will talk about the Danny Wiseman tournament that comes up in October.
I can at least tell you that the girls' invitational will not be at Stanton. It will not be at Red Crown. It will not be at Green Ridge.
What about Mountainville?
It will not be at Mountainville.
I like Green Ridge.
I did too.
Yes.
That was a neat little house.
Yes.
It won't be at Spring Grove. It won't be down in Springfield. It won't be at Bolorama. It won't be at Garden Spot. It won't be at Lincoln Way. It won't be at East York Bowling or 20th Century Lanes or Fun Bowl or G&G Lanes or Weigelstown Bolorama. Hey, step forward. We can't see you. Further. 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 Pay yourself that. Go ahead.
Okay, time to begin game number 2. On the scratch side, we have number 3 seed Brandon Updike and Anthony Remley taking on number 4 seed Charlize Warner and Philip Zimmerman. Updike and Remley have elected to have Warner and Zimmerman start the match. The order for each team will be Brandon and then Anthony. Charlize and Dylan will keep the same order. Okay? On the handicap side, number 3 seed Stephen Schaff and Alfonso Pena taking on number 5 seed Hunter Firestone and Darren Zombro III. Stephen and Alfonso have elected to start the match on lane 7. They will go in the order of Stephen and then Alfonso. Hunter and Darren keeping the same order. Difference in handicap is 26 pins going to Stephen and Alfonso. Okay? Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our game 2 finalists.
All right, and away we go.
26.
Is the bowling center in Columbia still there?
No, that burned down too. So no, it won't be held there either. It won't be at the Fredericksburg YMCA because there's only 3 lanes there. It won't be at Holler House in Milwaukee because there's only 2 lanes there.
What else is new and exciting? Anything?
All right, so getting started here, Warner and Zimmerman. They actually changed lanes. So Warner now on 5, Zimmerman on 6, and a good start with that. So they will start with the strike. Meanwhile, Schaff and Penna, Schaff with the spare. And they get 26, so they're out to the early lead. Here's Brandon Updike. 235, 208, 165, 216, 257, and then 225, 231, 215.
Good start.
And his teammate, Anthony Remley, 238, 219, 236, 168, 170. Then 232, 235, 162 for 3,412. Plus 212. Strikes on both sides. So Firestone and Zombro both switched up as well. So Zombro moved to the left lane, and that's a good move for them as they started out with a double. So good moves both so far by our incumbent teams, as we are perfect on the scratch side thus far. Now here's Penna with a strike as well. Alfonso Penna, 198, 158, 194, 172, 198, then 205, 197, 219. And Steven Schaff, 158, 165, 170, 143, 151, and 176, 161, 193. They qualified third at 33.79, only 4 pins ahead of fourth and just 10 behind second. Now Zimmerman on lane 6 on the right side. This is his first shot over here and gets the 7 to fall. So double-double here on the scratch side, and now back to Steven Schaff, the only one so far unable to strike. And that's got to go jersey if it's going to strike, and he also gets an 8 count. Strike for Warner. Schaff can't get the 6 outside of the 10. So 48 after 3, 74 with handicap. And now Firestone and Zombro up working on a double. Updike gets it way out and still gets it to strike. Looks like a characteristic of not only Updike, but Jordan Shell as well, getting it out to about the 5 board and getting it to come back today. Firestone goes jersey, leaves a 5 pin. Should be an easy spare for him. Meanwhile, Remley. He strikes as well, making it 4 in a row and a dogfight literally here on the scratch side. Handicap 5 pin made by Mr. Firestone, so 49 and a spare. Zimmerman with a strike as he rolls it over 15, gets it out to about 8 to get it to come back. So now 4 strikes in a row on each side, and Zombro's solid 10 pin. If he converts it, it'll be 68 and a spare on the handicap side. That's got to hurry to the left, and 4 in a row ends with Warner leaving the 5-10. I think if she puts it right in that same exact spot, she should make the spare. And Zombro this time makes his 10 pin, throwing urethane straight at it. So 68 and a spare as Alfonso Penna comes up. He and Schaff 48 after 3. Once they get the 26 pins, and goes high and leaves the 2-4. Nothing on the conversion for Warner, so they're at 114 after 5. Meanwhile, Updike will try and make it 5 in a row for his team, up on 5 and 6. This is Penna straightening it out and chopping. 57 plus the handicap, it's 83 after 4. Five in a row for Updike. Now Remley will be up on lane 5 to try and make it 6 in a row. Strike for Schaff, making it 57 and a strike. Scratch, he added the 26 pins in, so it's 83 and a strike. And now Firestone up to try and take back the lead. Six in a row for Updike and Remley as their lead is now 36. Strike for Firestone. They take back the lead. It is 88 and a strike to 83 and a strike, so 5 pins the difference now as Zombro comes up in the 6th. Zimmerman got that one a little inside, but hit about board 16 and gets a strike. So 114 and a strike. And Zombro gets the easy break. Gets the big break, actually. Gets the 9 pin out after going through the nose. So their lead still is 5 on the handicap side. Warner gets comeback and gets the strike, and so does Penna. Fast-moving second match here as the lead is 36 for Updike and Remley as Updike steps up in the 7th frame. Meanwhile, Schaff will be up on lane 7. Gets it out to about 7 and gets the 7 to go. So 7's wild. Make it 7 in a row now. And I do not believe we've ever had a Baker 300 in PJBT history. Here's Schaff. Leaves a 6 pin. That's, with this conversion, it'll be 132 and a spare for the team of Schaff and Penna. Meanwhile, Remley, 8th frame. Trying to get 8 in a row here. Pured that one. Spare for Schaff, so 106 and a spare. Yeah, the handicap, and that's 132 and a spare. We can get into max score talk now. So looking at 216 scratch, 242. Meanwhile, we're on 268 pace for Firestone and Zombro, so the lead is 26. As long as they have a spare here, they will keep the lead after this frame. Connor Firestone, 3 pin. So he converts this, they will keep their lead. Meanwhile, Zimmerman trying to keep his team in it, gets it out and gets the 10 to fall. So 144 and a double. They have a max score of 264 here as Warner steps up in the 9th frame now. Firestone misses, so 145. Their max score is 235. So they fall behind here as Warner leaves a 10 pin. It is not over on the scratch side because I've even done this before. Front 8, open for 240. Meanwhile, Zombro strikes. Get his team back on the clip. Warner with the spare. 193 and a spare. They still have a max of 243. Now Updike up in the 9th. Meanwhile, Penna in the 9th. 132 and a spare. Strike here would be huge for them. That's going to go right. And strike. 126 plus the handicap 152 and a strike, so they're a max of 242 and a max for Firestone and Zombro of 235. So if Shaft comes up here and strikes, they can't be shut out. Updike, strike in the 9th. So we are 3 away. Big shot here for Shaft and leaves a 6 pin. So Firestone and Zombro will come in to the 9th and 10th with a chance, if my math is right, to shut them out perhaps. They will. So assuming Shaft can make this, that's got to push. 6 pin. That's still a victory. And that's going to hang. It just barely does. So 172 and a spare. They'll have a max score of 222. So the magic number for Firestone and Zombro to hit is 223. To clinch the match. Zimmerman will step up in the 10th as the scratch division has been decided already. Updike and Remley will advance to the semifinal. Firestone goes Jersey and gets the strike. All right, 222 is the max scratch that Shaft and Penna can get. So 223, a strike, 9 spare. There's the strike. Nine on this ball will do it. That's a winner. So 278 to 233. Updike and Remley defeat Warner and Zimmerman as Penna comes up and leaves a 7 pin.
By the way, we did have a Baker 300 last year.
Ah, okay.
In the team event.
Team event, okay. We haven't had a doubles 300 Baker yet.
Not to my recollection.
Okay. 233 for Firestone and Zombro, 200 for Shaft and Penna.
We need an official statistician. Why don't you take over that? You're not doing anything.
Surely you jest.
Should start that right in January, right? Or maybe February?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, say February the 1st he could start that. What do you want, son? That's a nice shirt.
Thank you.
Can't wait till you get the matching underwear.
Brandon Updike sporting his PA Fats jersey here
You,
today.
you too could get my logo on any jersey for free. Just ask Brian Krantz at EFX Apparel. They come out now with pants. You could get my jersey right on your keister.
PA Fats on your tuchus, only at PJBTs. Oh my.
That's right. PA Fats.
And underline it.
Oh my.
Like the fancy underline.
Just
Hurry
need-
up, man. I can't get this conversation going any longer.
You just make sure you pick the right color choice to make it look right.
Down to Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes game number 2 of our Baker format doubles finals. Finishing in 4th place in the scratch division. Each bowler getting a $40 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Charlize Warner and Dylan Zimmerman. Bowling.
Warner and Zimmerman, 4th place finishers today.
And our 4th place finisher in the handicap division. Each bowler getting a $40 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Steven Schack and Alfonso Pena. Okay, on to our semifinal matches.
Before we continue, Mr. Fats, there is a birthday we must acknowledge today.
Okay.
Big number 5
Yes.
for Miss Peyton,
Yes.
Matt's daughter. They're going to have a party for her later on, from what I understand, and that's where Matt's going immediately afterwards. So, happy birthday, Peyton.
Yes. Happy birthday, Peyton, from all of your friends at Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour.
All right, let's go to Maryland now.
Yes. Go ahead. You could take care of this one.
Action Al's Tire Company presents this year's Danny Wiseman 2019 Youth Scholarship Tournament with the warm-up event on October 11th, and October 12th and 13th will be the main event. Roscoe Pretlow and Samantha Russell were our champs last year, of scholarships of $2,400 each. $65 entry or $165 for all 3. Entries close October 8th. It'll be at Country Club Lanes, Route 40, the Pulaski Highway in Baltimore. Qualifying squads are 9, 130, and 6 on Saturday, with the finals October 13th, 9 a.m. Top 32 to a 2-game double elimination. Fresh oil for all squads. And the Youth Baker doubles on Friday night. The only way you can sign up is here on PJBTBowlingSeries.com, so make sure you get your entries in. And this is for youth only. So you must be a certified youth bowler in order to bowl this event. 114 entries per squad. That's our limit.
And while you're down there, stop at Rosario's and get the Southern Tour of Italy. And you can thank me later.
Is that the restaurant that's next door?
No, that's about 3 miles down the road on the opposite side of the highway, and their food is Fantastico.
So there you go. You bowl 3 squads and then grab a good meal. And that's coming up in just 8 weekends from now.
You figured, I didn't even see you use your fingers to count the dates out. That was impressive.
Didn't need to.
Whoa.
It's a lucky guess.
All right, so off we go to the semifinals in the scratch division. That means Blair and Owens pop in. And in the handicap division, Strauss and Gilbert.
Blair and Owens had the lead after Game 7 and for much of the afternoon, but struggled the last game and fell to the second spot, to be taken over by Antonio Willer and Ryan Mitscavige, who we will see in our final match. Then on the handicap side, it's Carter Strauss and Jacob Gilbert from Schuylkill County taking on Lebanon's Carter Strauss and, Connor Firestone and DJ Zombro. And then it's Luzerne County versus Maryland on the scratch side here. Winners to take on Du Bois out in Clearfield County. Strauss and Gilbert will get 19 in this match. Remley and Updike will keep the same lanes. on the scratch side as they get underway.
For those of you in the Berks Lanes area of Berks County and on east, stay safe. Apparently there's a pretty big hailstorm going on up there right now.
Carter Strauss on the right side will leave Doublewood, and Remley will go to the left. Rick Mitchell has arrived. He provided the bowling ball and a 3-ball bag for today's raffle, and he'll also be the sponsor of our Super Singles event. Travel safely, sir.
Have fun at college.
Dylan Zimmerman on his way out. 4th place finish today. As Carter Strauss misses his spare, but Remley makes his spare. So same lanes also for Firestone and Zombro, as they had the lowest handicap of all 5 of our finalists, and they're giving it up every game, and they've made it up so far for the first 2. And a good start for Firestone. He crosses over and gets the strike. Troy, TJ Owens, 187, 259, 244, 250. 245, excuse me, 268, and then 193, 268, 161. And a strike to open up. He was plus 225 himself on the day. About a 228 average today. And then Gene Blair, 224, 184, 236, 179, 212, 213, 205, 203. He was plus 56 on the day for a total score of 34.81, and they were second in scratch. Updike gets it out and gets it to come back. So 20 and a strike for Updike and Remley after 2. Zombro makes the 9 pin, so 20 and a spare for Firestone and Zombro. As Gilbert comes up for the first time. Jake Gilbert today. 234, 138, 212, 238, 167, and 200, 197, 182. He averages 176. He was well over average today. And then Carter Strauss, over average today as well. 187, 231, 201, 160, 143, and then 142, 186, and 171 for 33.89. And second place. 7 pin for Gilbert. Meanwhile, Remley, he strikes, so 20 and a double for
Okay, good to see you. Hey, good to see you again. Not too long ago.
Gilbert cannot convert the spares. So 17 plus the handicap of 19. It's 36 after 2 frames. Gene Blair mixes them up, leaves the 4 pin. Waiting in the wings on the handicap side are Barry Bridigan Jr. and Becca Bridigan. Carter Strauss crosses over and leaves the double wood again. The 3-9. Blair just barely makes it. 49 and a spare as Owens comes up in the 4th, and they trail by 11. One out of 2 for Strauss, so 26-45 with handicap. Firestone will go up in the 3rd, and Owens strikes. So back to the Bowler Supply trade show story. There were 10 youth bowlers and we did a mini King of the Hill for them. And Owens was representing Coe's Glen Burnie Pro Shop. It was a one-game qualifier, and that determined whether you went into scratch or handicap. Top 5 scratch scores went to scratch, the others went to handicap. TJ shot 296. And then he ended up winning the whole thing. But it was the shortest tournament they have ever bowled, because after that one-game qualifier, then they bowled a ninth, the 5 on each side, bowled a 9th and 10th frame roll-off, and just a 9th and 10th frame of a game. Then the top 2 advanced and bowled a 9th and 10th frame against each other, and TJ ended up winning. So they bowled the equivalent of a game and a half.
Maybe we'll institute that sometime in the future.
I would love to see that.
Yes. Start at 10:30, be out by 12:30.
Yeah, even sooner.
Yes.
Of course, an hour of that will be announcements. So
Exactly.
spare and a strike on the Firestone Zombro side. So they're at 59 and a strike after 4. Meanwhile, Gilbert Strauss looking for their first mark of the match. Remley gets the 5 to go. So 89 and a strike for them. Lead is 10 for Blair and Owens, and Blair will try and keep them on top. Meanwhile, Gilbert with a makeable spare, 3-pin.
Hello, Nicole, and congratulations. Yes, you're Nicole.
10-pin for Blair as Gilbert makes his spare, now 45 and a spare. They have a little bit of catching up to do here. We'll see what kind of adjustment Strauss can make here on his lane. So since we last chatted, Junior Gold has moved.
Yes.
It was Indianapolis. And I'll tell the story. It was, well, after the power failure on Friday morning out of the DV8 shootout, which pushed our Friday night squad back an hour, and we didn't wrap up till 1:30 in the morning.
We're used to that.
Well,
Chicago.
Well, hotel room, we didn't get back to the hotel room until 3.
Yeah.
But I still got up at 7:15 after habit. Then I go to Meijer to grab some things. And I want to thank fellow coordinator Henry Vodel, who runs the Metro East Youth Scholarship Tour down Southern Illinois. He texted me with the story, and he labeled it good news. And I looked and said, Junior Gold moved to Las Vegas for 2020. And I could just feel the acid coming up my stomach because I had everything scheduled already for Indianapolis.
Yes.
But we later learned that they're going back there in 2021.
Oh, are they?
Yes,
Okay.
because now with U20 shifting to before
Correct.
everybody else bowls, the U12, U15, and what's going to be U18, Indianapolis now has room to host everybody.
Got ya.
So as far as 2020 goes, the DV8 shootout will be at Santa Fe Station. We have a 60-lane house in the northwest end of Vegas. From the Spaghetti Bowl, where 1593 and 95 meet, you take 95 north like you're going to Reno, follow that 13 miles, and it runs right into Santa Fe Station. So that's where we will be for the DV8 shootout, and we are expanding to before and after Junior Gold.
I heard that.
Number one, because popular demand. Number two, because Survivor and Youth Open sold out the Friday afterwards.
Got ya.
And number three, Santa Fe Station already has an event planned for the Friday night beforehand, so our squads for the DV8 shootout for the Friday before will be early morning and afternoon. We're going to do an 8 a.m. squad because that'll be 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we figure all the East Coast folks who still haven't gotten used to the time change yet, they'll get up anyway and come over and bowl. And it'll be limited to 150 bowlers, which will be 5 on a pair. So we'll get them in, get them out. Zombro makes his spare. That's 97 and a spare. So Gilbert now up 58 and a spare. Lead is only, well, the lead's right around 30 for Firestone and Zombro as Gilbert goes up in the 6th frame and can't get the 9 pin to go. Blair and Owens, strike. That doubles up for them, so 109 and a double for Blair and Owens against 127 and a spare for Updike and Remley. Max score for Blair and Owens is 259. Max score for Updike and Remley is 237. So if they happen to 9 spare here, they would still have a 1-pin lead. 22 remains the lead for Blair and Owens. Great shot by TJ. Strauss gets it. Thought he got it too far out, but it managed to make the move back, and he strikes. So his first strike of the match, and that's strike for his team, and a Colony Park 7-pin for Brandon Updike. He bowled juniors here last year and will be bowling the Wednesday night scratch league here this year with Rick Mitchell. And a 5-pin for Firestone. .146 and a spare, so 226 max as Remley will go up in the 9th frame, and the lead is now 33 for Blair and Owens. Firestone makes the 5-pin. 116 and a spare for Zombro Firestone against 97 and a strike. So it's still anybody's game as Remley can't get the 2-pin to roll. And Blair will have a chance to step up and pretty much ice it for his team in the 9th. Zombro can't get the 9-pin. Remley can't get the 2-pin, so 174, and Max is 204, and Blair can step up and win it right here in the 9th frame. Zombro makes his spare. 135 and a spare. Max score for them is 215. Max score for Gilbert and Strauss is 217. A 2-pin match here. Meanwhile, Blair strikes, and that just about does it on the scratch side. Now from the good place for that department comes the 4-6-7, and Gilbert strikes. So Strauss can come up here in the 9th frame, and if he strikes, they cannot be shut out by Zombro and Firestone. And he struck on his last ball here, so this match has become interesting all of a sudden. Owen just wants to throw a strike shot, understandable. So 220 As Strauss gets it and can't get it to come back. So 1-2-4 lead for him. So Updike, if he converts, he'll be 194. Now Strauss needs to make this. That looks like trouble. 133, add in the 19, so 152. So the magic number is 183. Because the most Strauss and Gilbert can get is 182. Magic number is 183. 2 marks, and Firestone and Zombro will move on to the final as they continue to climb the stepladder. Firestone crosses over and gets the 7 to fall. Nine on this ball, and Zombro has it. Final score on the scratch side, 220 to 194. Blair and Owens move on to the final as they will take on Updike and Remley. Meanwhile, Zombro, not over yet.
Yep, it's going to need the 1.
They're at 181 now. He gets 1, it's 183. And he has it. And the spare. 175 and a spare, so 185, so that's enough. 182 is the most that Strauss and Gilbert can get. Zombro gets 8 for 193. So 193 winning score for Zombro and Firestone. They've won 3 in a row to get to the title match here, as Jake Gilbert will wrap up for the team of Strauss and Gilbert. $152 plus 19, 171. So final score 193, 171. Firestone and Zombro over Strauss and Gilbert, which will take us to our final matches, which will be the Bridigans versus Zombro and Firestone against Willer and Mitscavige versus Blair and Owens.
Your third place finishers today, Brandon Updike and Anthony Remley.
And our third place finishers in the handicap division. Each caller getting a $50 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Carter Strauss and Jacob Gilbert.
And in the handicap division, your third place finishers, Carter Strauss and Jacob Gilbert.
All right, on to our title matches. Okay. Okay, Antonio Ryan, 2 balls for each lane. They are allowed 1 ball for each lane on the bracket, if they would like. Okay? 1 ball for you guys. Okay, there you go. 2 balls for each lane. Connor and Darren get 1 ball if they want it.
All right, so as we get ready for our finals, let's see here. In the scratch division, so far, all of the higher seeds have won their matches. And in the handicap side, so far, the number 5 seed has won all of the matches. Looks like the Brininghams are going to be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 27 pins this match. Don't forget, next week is our first major of the season at 222 Dutch. Next Sunday at 10:30. Top seeds in the scratch division, Antonia Willer and Ryan Miscavige, jumped the team of Blair and Owens in the last game. They shot 502 to Blair and Owens 364, and they were able to take the number 1 seed by 23 pins. The Brininghams pretty much had their way with the handicap division. They were in first by over 100 pins, 112 to be exact.
Had to help the boss load up bowling balls in her car.
I understand.
Well, when you have 11, kind of needs a hand with those.
Sure.
Hello, everyone in the chat room. I have been neglecting to talk with all of you today, so hello. Thanks to our dozens of viewers joining us live, and hopefully more when you watch this on replay. We've got 36 watching as of now, so title match here, Antonio Willar and Ryan Mitscavige from Du Bois taking on Gene Blair and TJ Owens from Maryland, and then Battle of Lebanon on 7 and 8. Bridigan versus Firestone and Zombro. 27 pins for the Bridigans. That's the difference here.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time for our title matches for today's PJBT. On the scratch side, we have number 1 seed, Antonio Willer and Ryan Mitscavige, taking on number 2 seed, Gene Blair and Troy Owen. Antonio and Ryan have elected to let their opponents, Gene and Troy, start the match. On lane 5, they'll go in the order of Antonio first, Ryan second. Gene and Troy are going to reverse their order to go Troy first and Gene second. Okay? On the handicap side, we have number 1 seed, Barry and Rebecca Bridigan, taking on number 5 seed, Connor Firestone and Darren Zombro III. Okay, the Bridigans have elected to have Connor and Darren start the match on lane 7. They'll go in the order of Barry and then Rebecca. Connor and Darren will keep the same order. The difference in handicap is 27 going to the Bridigans. Okay? Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches. The opening tournament of the season.
All right, and off we go to the finals.
Owens and Blair will keep the same lanes. Firestone, Zombro have elected to switch back. Owens trips the 4.
Yes, you could see the plan of the Zombro Firestone team. They just want to keep Zombro bowling in the anchor position.
Seven count. We have 36 watching, sir. Don't worry.
Times 12.
Willar first up. 10 pin.
So I meant to ask you quick, and I forgot in a non-bowling subject. With the start of the high school football season less than a week away now, are you going to be doing any commentary this year?
As far as I know, I will still be behind the scenes.
Okay.
It just so happens that in the ABC 27 schedule, both of their Saturday games happen to be also Saturday PJBT girls events.
Oh.
And the first game that they're doing, Harrisburg-Coatesville, I have a fantasy football draft that night. So, but I'll be at least doing stats. I might be doing a little more. We will find out, but that's the plan so far.
Okay.
I'm hoping to. If they need me to fill in for a game, I can. But yes, high school football scrimmages were held yesterday throughout Pennsylvania. And first games of the season for most schools will be Friday night. If not this Friday, then the following Friday.
Yes.
Meanwhile, high school bowling season doesn't start for a while yet. College bowling starts for most either in September or October, depending on what school you're at and what conference you're a part of. So We shall see. So Blair and Owens start with a double as Willard made his 10-pin, but 4-pin was missed by Mitscavige. Now over to the Bridigan side as Becca leaves a 2-4-10. For Willard and Mitscavige, Antonio 215, 168, 278, 221, 191, then 190, 202, 235 as Owens and Blair starts with a triple. Mitscavige 248, 177, 248, 216, 208, then 203, 237, 267 to take the lead in the last game with a 502 at 35.04. Becca Bridigan gets 2, so Barry Bridigan will be up with 26. Add the handicap together, that's 53. And Barry Bridigan with a strike. He had 142, 166, 179, 232, 186, then 185, 148, 171 for 1409. 147 average for him coming in. And Becca, 178 average. She had 210, 177, 217, 234, 170, then 163, 202, 183. 35.01 was their team total. And they had a 112-pin advantage coming into the finals. Now Connor Firestone goes Jersey again and strikes. So a double, so 7 and a double for Zombro and Firestone. Here's Willard, gets the count. So 37 after 3 and an early deficit.
You know, Jamie, we would buy Matt a wireless mic, but we might just be starting match number 2
Yes.
if we were to have one of them in his hands.
He knows when to start, he just doesn't know when to stop. And having known him for 18 years, that statement is so true. 9-pin for Mitscavige. It's just not falling their way here in this match. Becca Bridigan gets it out to about 5, and it storms back to leave a 3-6-10. Makes the spare, so 37 and a spare for Willard and Mitscavige. Becca Bridigan can't get the 3. Gets the 3, gets the 6, can't make the 10. So 54, add the handicap in, that's 81 after 4. With Zombro up working on a double. Blair with a beautiful shot, throwing it right between 3rd and 4th arrow and striking. That's 4 in a row. And Zombro goes high, takes out the 9-10, leaves the 4-7. So if he makes this spare, he'll continue to reel in the handicap difference. TJ Owens looking for 5 in a row, and they get it. Spare, so 55 and a spare after 4. So 55 and a spare versus 81. So 5th frame, Connor Firestone back up. He's gone through the face and then gone Jersey. Willard gets the 4 to fall forward. He finally gets it to mix up on that lane. So 57 and a strike for Willard. Firestone needs it to hurry. Gets the mix. So 75 and a strike. After the early miscue, they've struck 3 out of 4 shots. Mitscavige trying to make it a double to keep them within striking distance. He gets a mixer. So 57 and a double, 237 max. Then Bridigan, 6 count. Blair on lane 6, looking for 6 in a row. Didn't even look like it was going to make it back. He got it out to the 6 board, and it came all the way back.
A little bit of area on that lane.
Just a little bit. 2 out of 4 for Barry Bridigan. So 62 in the 5th, 89 with handicap. Becca has gone 7-2 on both of her shots here on lane 7. A little straighter and can't break up the baby split. TJ dropped it. Saw the double dribble right after he released it, and 3, 4, 6, 7. Nice shot, Becca. So 89 and a spare. TJ can't get it to hook back. So 168 after 7, but they still lead by 21. Max score 258 for Blair and Owens, and 237 for Willard and Miscavige, who got off to an awful start. Zombro with the strike. That's 75 and a double for them. We can start talking max score now as we're into the 7th frame here. To get 255. A nice rack splitter for Willard, as they've now gone 3 in a row. And 229 max score for the Bridigans. Firestone. I don't think he's gone 1-3 pocket all afternoon on 7 and 8, and now he's got 2 in a row at the best time possible. Miscavige looking to keep it close, and baby split. So the lead is back up to 40 plus for Blair and Owens. Bridigan gets the 10 pin. 109 and a strike. Miscavige must have this. Can't get the bounce. Bridigan, 10 pin. If Blair and Owens strike here in the 8th and 9th, it's pretty much over. Lead is 25. Could grow to 55 here with a strike. He got that way inside. Leaves a 4 pin. So they spare here. The max score will be 248. And Becca makes her 10 pin. 129 and a spare, 209 max. But Zombro and Firestone have been on fire as Blair just barely makes it.
He did that last game.
Zombro, 610. TJ Owens spares here. He puts them in great shape. Strike here, be a little better shape. That came off his hand a lot better, and he gets paved with a solid 8-pin.
Well, with a spare here, even if their opponents strike out, they'll just need, 4 pins on the first ball.
Yeah, it's 196 now. He spares this, it's 197. And anything less than a strike by Willer and Miscavige, and it's over. Now Firestone. 24-pin lead. He's going Jersey again. And leaves the baby. Willard with a strike. So he struck on his last 3 shots. Firestone gets the split. Nice conversion. So they cannot be shut out. But the Bridicans can make them work here. Max score for them is 182 scratch, as scratch is now over. Blair and Owens have won. So 182 with 209 with handicap. And that's still intact as Barry gets the strike. He struck on his last 2 shots. So 209 is max. And 221 is max for Firestone and Zombro. And Zombro will be going up in the 10th frame. And dare I say, we have a chance at a tie again.
Yes, we do.
If Becca strikes out and Darren goes either 9 spare 9 or 8 spare strike or strike spare 8, strike 8, we have a tie. Be good, sir.
See ya.
So Becca goes high, leaves a 6-pin. And the chances for Zombro and Firestone just got a little better as Blair strikes. 171 final score for Willard and Miscavige. Becca makes her spare, so 142 and a spare. That's 169 and a spare with handicap, so 189 max. If she strikes here, then Zombro would just need 5 pins in the first ball of the 10th. 237 for Blair and Owens, and we'll be talking with them afterwards here. Bridigan. 8 for 160, and then 187, so Zombro just needs 4 on this first ball of the 10th here, and they will have successfully climbed the ladder. Bowling the maximum of what ended up being 10 plus games today, and there it is. Good place for it. Zombro and Firestone are your winners. $197 to $187 is your final. So we'll await Matt to write up all the scholarship sheets, hand out the hardware, and then give out the medals. And then we'll be talking to the winners here afterwards shortly. I think due to the fact that I am taller than all of our award recipients other than TJ today, I'll stay seated and they can stand around me. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
All righty.
gotta tuck my shirt in. Hold on.
That'll take a year.
Yeah, it will.
Wow.
He's used to it.
You didn't have to do it yourself. Just go.
And Rick just ripped his pants.
Give out our final awards for today's PJBT here at Colony Park Lanes North, sponsored by Roto Grip Rick Mitchell and Roto Grip. Thanks, Rick. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, I'll let you put these on. All right, our runner-up finishers in the scratch division, each getting a $100 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Ryan Miscavige and Antonio Willer.
Ryan Miscavige, Antonio Willer, your runner-up finishers today. Great effort from both of them.
Our handicap runner-up finishers, each receiving a $100 scholarship, certificate, and award, goes to Barry Bridigan Jr. and Rebecca Bridigan.
Barry Bridigan and Rebecca Bridigan, your runner-up today in the handicap division. Great bowling by them.
All right. Now you have hardware.
With my name on it. I finally won something.
All right. Our
Doesn't
winners
take
in
much
the
to amuse
scratch
him.
division,
No, it doesn't.
each bowler getting a $200 scholarship, certificate, and the first place acrylic plaque, and an entry into our championship tournament at the end of the season goes to Gene Blair and Troy Owens.
Gene Blair, Troy Owens, your champions today in the scratch division.
And our winners in the handicap division, coming all the way from the number 5 seed, getting a $200 scholarship, certificate, and the first place acrylic plaque goes to Connor Firestone and Darren Zombro III.
Connor Firestone, Darren Zombro III, your handicap division champions. You're going to want to use that.
All right, thank you, sir. As always,
So I don't want to give that.
all right, bowling fans, have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday at 222 Dutch Lane for our first major singles event of the season. Okay? Stay tuned. Our winners will be coming back for a final interview in just a moment.
All right, I will set up the camera. Travis, give me a sound check on that.
Check 1, 2. Check, check. That was funny. Check, check.
No. Yes. Hold on here. La, 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 la. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Now give me a sound check.
Check 1, 2. That's better. Okay.
Just remember where I'm standing.
Handicap first, please. Hang on, folks. You're a veteran at this. You come closer to me here. Connor, this is your first title, I believe.
Yeah.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bowling balls that you used. Did I see an orange vibe from both of you from Columbia 300 the whole time?
Me.
All right, what were you using?
Venom Recoil.
Venom Recoil.
Yeah.
That's
Motive.
Motive, okay. Strategy going into the final. I saw you changed lanes on a couple of occasions there, but you always wanted him to be anchor. Am I correct?
Yes.
You felt more confident and comfortable being going up in the 10th frame there.
Yes.
Earlier, I got to try and remember 4 step-ladder matches here. I believe it was the second step-ladder match where you had to step up and get 9. I think it was a strike spare 9 or something like that.
That was the first one.
First one, okay. Good job, sir. What were you thinking there? Just make a good shot. And
Yeah, because that lane, the head pin was over to the right, up a couple boards. Just had to try and make a good shot and get the right amount of pins.
how are your nerves doing right now?
Now they're okay.
Did you feel nervous at all? I mean, is this your first final here
Yeah.
with us? Any butterflies in the stomach? Anything? Or
At first, yeah.
yeah, how'd you overcome them? Just make good shots.
Yeah.
How much of an adjustment did you make? Because I saw you were on the left lane mostly for the entire time, and you've been going Jersey, and then you finally struck 2 pocket strikes in a row. How much of an adjustment did you make?
When I was on the right lane, I was actually trying to go Jersey, so because the head pin was offset.
Okay, so but then once you got over to the left lane, you didn't have to make too much of an adjustment, right?
No.
All right, gentlemen, congratulations. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
winner's circle. Congratulations again. Thank you. We'll let you go back with your families here, and we'll get our scratch champs in here. Come on over, boys. You're welcome, sir. Now you can smile. Now you can breathe. The tough part's over here. Congratulations to both you guys.
Thank you.
Let's go back to second round of qualifying, game 8. You lost the lead there.
Yeah.
Were you fishing around? You just couldn't line up with the lanes that time?
I mean, I kind of bowled 160, so that's more my fault. You kind of, I don't know what you shot. You shot over 200. You know,
Oh,
I just got the wrong ball reaction, changed balls, and that didn't work. So,
What equipment did you use throughout the day?
started off with the Chaos Black throughout the whole qualifying, and then as I tried out, I got left my Futura and kind of just threw the Widow Pink in there, kind of, but that didn't work out too well. So just stick with
I used the Halo Pearl, and I majority used the Legion Solid. And going back to the 8th game, TJ really had to carry us all day like usual. So I was just shooting 2-teen, and 2-0. He just made a bad move and costing him 20, 30 pins. So it's okay.
What lines were you playing for the most part? I saw you, I saw you get it, stand left, throw it between 3rd and 4th arrow, bank it off a 5, and come back. Was that what you wanted to do?
Not well. The one I missed way out there that struck. I was thankful for that one. But most of the day I tried to play right. But then 5 and 6 normally hooks was one of the most hooking pairs in the building. So I normally have to hook it on this hooking. Well,
place got built in.
I don't think so.
So congratulations to both of you. You're an adult now.
I am.
What are you doing this fall here? How many leagues you bowling?
How many leagues? I bowl 1 league. It's gonna
That's
be
it.
Yep, 1 league, and that's it. And I'm gonna bowl all the double stuff with him, and that's all you're gonna see me at.
Okay.
Yep.
So that means he'll be here next week too.
Nope. Bet $1 million I'm not.
Okay, so we will see you at Dutch next week.
Yes, you will.
All right, congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank Cohen Chase at the first shop. They told me to say that Chase did, but he wants his fame.
Thanks,
Well,
Coach Troy out there.
Thanks, Coach Troy.
Yeah, he's the best, man.
Well, I did share the story about you representing Coe's Glen Burnie Pro Shop down here when you shot 296 a couple weeks ago.
Every shot was good until the last one.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We'll let PA Fats get back in here one last time here as we wrap it up. The first. All right, so I'm switching headphones here. well-oiled machine that we have here. So, yes, this is our exploding spaghetti factory we have here. It's been referred to before. So,
Yes.
one down, 500 to go for this season. Yes. Thanks to Matt for letting me come back aboard again. Josh, wherever you are, enjoying yourself with golf, and Stacy, we missed you today, but we'll see you next week.
It's always great to have you. It adds a level of professionalism.
I try.
Because without you, they got to deal with me.
But they enjoy dealing with you, so
Most of the time.
yes.
Most of the time.
Thanks to Terry Brenneman and the family here at Colony Park North for hosting us today. We will be back here for our Super Singles event in December. Format to be announced. Matt has let me decide the format, along with Darren Armel, the regional manager here with Brenneman Enterprises and Colony Park North. So, format to be announced. We'll figure all that out coming up before December 15th. We're at Dutch next Sunday, August 25th. Back to a regular singles event, and then we're down in Jersey for Parker Bone.
Yes.
And for the 20th annual Parker Bone, the third scholarship tournament. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the Dad Jokes feature on the Brunswick Bowling for Facebook, it's funny in a dad, corny kind of way. Try and watch it if you can. Good to be with you again, sir.
Yes. Wrap it up.
Yep. For PA Fats and the whole gang, I'm Boom Boom. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week at 222 Dutch. Thank you.
See you guys.